Okay, it considers to be a difficult problem. For one thing, it's people are not familiar with the concept here, but men in a regiment can be arranged in a column twice as long as it's wide. If their number were 224 or less, they could be arranged in a hollow square. I noticed a footnote there. I'll read to you in a moment. It says 4 deep, having in each outer side of the square as many men as there were in the length of the column. Whoa! Find the number of men. The footnote reads this. It says in Napoleonic battles, a hollow square was popular formation for infantry battalions designed to cope with cavalry charges. It's square formation soldier with a square hollow center. Okay, so what I got to do over here is I can't fit it in this white space here. I got to go to the whiteboard. And as I do that, I'm going to have to reread it again. All right? So I realize their question is how many men are there? I don't know. So I'm going to say X is the number of men. And what they said was that they could form a column like this over here, where if there were W men in the width of it, there'd be 2W men in the length of it. All right? So I'm going to say the number of men, and this is an integer, by the way, would be W times 2W squared. And what does that give me? I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. I'm thinking forward, and I really shouldn't be thinking forward. I should be thinking where I am and then moving forward. So what do you get over here? It's W times 2W. Again, W is the number of men in the width of it. 2W is the number of men in the length of it. So that's going to be 2W squared. Now again, I know this hollow formation they're talking about, a little bit confusing. But they said if there were 224 less men, so it's going to be 2W squared minus 224. If there were less men, they could form this over here, and I'll talk about this thing as they said it what it was. And I'm not very good at drawing pictures, I realize that. They said they could form a hollow square. So I'm going to put up what a hollow square looks like, sort of. Now the hollow square, what's happening is this part's empty. Here's what they said though. They said it's 4 deep. All right, 4 deep. Now what does that mean? In the corners, right, it would be 4 by 4. So there's 16 men here. There's 16 men here. 16 men here. 16 men here. So let me point this out. It's 4 by 4. 4 deep. Right, like you would see 4 men here. You would see 4 men here. All right? I think I did one too many there. Let me get my eraser out. And again, we're just reading. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd see that. What did they say, though? They went on to say that the this square has a dimension to it. And it says each outer side, we're on the outside now, of the square has as many men as the number length of the column. Well, the length of the column is 2W. All right? So then the question is, how many men would be here? Well, I hope you realize there's 4 men here, 4 men here. So this has to be 2W minus 8 men. And what's the width of that? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm going to start counting things up, one at a time. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do the corners now. How many men are there? 4 times 16, which is 64. And then I got to account for this. And there's going to be 4, but they're identical. Let me write it down for you. 4 And how many men are in those red areas? Well, there's going to be 4 wide, and the length of it's going to be 2W minus 8. All right? Now, before I do anything, I want to make sure that if I proceed forward, W better be an integer number. You can't have half a man. It also has to be a non-negative number. 1 man, 2 man, 3 man, 4 man. All right? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm looking at it, and I'm going to divide both sides by 2 first, just to make my life a little bit easier. You get W squared minus, let's see, 1, 1, 2, 32, 2 times 4, 2W minus 8. Let's keep moving forward. W squared minus 112. Let's see. You know what? That's a plus sign. Sorry about that. 32 plus 2 times 4 is 8, 16W, and then 64, right? Wow, looks like a tough one. W squared minus 112, that's 32. Not 32, I'm sorry. I gotta get my eraser out. It's gonna be 16W minus 32. All right, let's keep moving forward. W squared minus 16W. And I got the tough part. I got to add 32 to both sides. That's going to be minus, let's see, it looks like 80. Before I say that, I want to check it though. 80 and 32, yeah, looks pretty good. Let's see if we can factor that. It would be awful if I couldn't factor, because I made a mistake if I couldn't factor it. And I'm going to say it looks like 4 and 20. So W could be minus 4, or W could be 20. Now, if you're not thinking, both are good answers, but the bottom line is it can't be minus 4. It has to be 20. All right? Now, someone says, I didn't remember what 20 means. It's the width of the original column. It's this thing. There's 20 men here, and what's over here? 40. All right? Now, what's the question? How many men are there? There's 20. That's the width. And what's the length of that column? 40, which is going to give me 800 men. That was their question. Let's just check the key, see how we did. And they do say it's 800 men. Thank you.